Welcome to Saia Motor Freight Line, Incorporated. This brief film will acquaint you with some of the history of Saia. You will be introduced to the who, what, where, when, how, and why of Saia Motor Freight Line, Incorporated. In the 1920s, the highway, if you could call it that, linking New Orleans to Houma, Louisiana, was little more than a gravel and clamshell buggy trail. Several times each week, Houma produce dealer Louis Saia Sr. traveled the winding road in a white truck, hauling fresh fruit and vegetables purchased from farmers at the French market in New Orleans. His merchandise was sold to grocers and housewives along the bayous of Terrebonne Parish. On many occasions, customers asked Mr. Saia to transport barrels of shrimp or pick up packages of hardware, clothing, and similar items they had ordered by mail from New Orleans and for which there was no dependable means of delivery. One day in 1924, Mr. Saia discovered that the growing volume of goods he was carrying left no room for his produce and that he would be better off devoting himself to hauling freight. This marked the beginning of Saia Motor Freight Line Incorporated, which today is Louisiana's largest and fastest growing trucking company. We are a for-hire common carrier. Common carriers are required to serve the general public upon demand at reasonable rates and without discrimination. Common carriers are further defined as having a regular route or irregular route operating authority. Common carriers with regular route authority are authorized by the Interstate Commerce Commission to provide service over designated routes, for example, New Orleans to Houston via Interstate 10. Our first expansion was in 1927 and included service to Thibodaux and Leeville, both on Louisiana Highway 1. Our business is moving general cargo from state to state, that's interstate, and within the state of Louisiana, intrastate. The authority to transport freight interstate is regulated by the Interstate Commerce Commission, a federal agency. The authority to transport freight intrastate is regulated by the Louisiana Public Service Commission. The shipments are primarily less than truckload, that's LTL, but we do move a substantial number of truckloads, referred to as TL. Our pickup and delivery units leave the terminals loaded in the morning and have usually discharged their cargo by noon. They then commence picking up the freight to be transported over the road that evening. When these units return to the terminal, their cargo is moved across the dock, that's cross-dock, to the over-the-road units. The movements to other cities are accomplished at night. Our driver's assignments are unique. Each man has his own unit, and no one else drives it. The only exception to this is the slip seat operation in which two men are assigned to the same truck. For example, the first driver would drive from Lafayette to New Orleans and then back to Lafayette. The second man would then drive from Lafayette to Houston and back to Lafayette. These units travel in excess of 200,000 miles per year. Our total commitment to this mission is evidenced by consistently outstanding service, lifelong learning programs, constant search for better methods, close contact with customers and suppliers, uniformed drivers, and well-kept terminals. If you got it, a truck brought it. This familiar trucking slogan emphasizes the very essence of the motor carrier segment of the U.S. transportation industry. Motor carrier transportation serves almost every industry. Some industries and firms are dependent upon trucks to haul all inbound and outbound freight, and many cities and towns are served only by trucks. The first major division of motor carriers is between for-hire and private. The for-hire carrier provides service to the public and charges a fee. The private carrier provides service to the firm which owns or leases the vehicles. For-hire carriers are either local or intercity operators. The local carriers pick up and deliver freight within the commercial zone of a city. The intercity carriers operate between cities. Motor carriers are not constrained by waterways, rail tracks, or airport locations. The U.S. system of highways is so extensive that virtually every shipping and receiving location is accessible via highways. Therefore, motor carriers have potential access to almost every origin and destination. Another service advantage of the motor carrier is speed. For shipments under 500 miles, the truck can usually deliver the goods in less time than other modes. Although airplanes travel at a higher speed, the accessibility problem of getting the freight to and from the airport via trucks adds to the air carrier total transit time. Another positive service characteristic is smoothness of transport. Given the suspension systems and the pneumatic tires used on trucks, the motor carrier ride is smoother than rail and water transport and less likely to result in damage to the cargo. This relatively damage-free service reduces the package requirements and thus packaging cost. Lastly, the for-hire segment of the motor carrier industry is quite customer-oriented. The size of most carriers has enabled them to respond to customer equipment and service needs. Motor carrier vehicles are either line haul vehicles or city equipment. Line haul vehicles are used to haul freight long distances between cities. City trucks are utilized within the city to provide pickup and delivery service. The line haul vehicle is usually a tractor-trailer combination of 3 or more axles. The cargo carrying capacity of these vehicles is dependent upon its length and the state maximum weight limits. A tractor-trailer combination with 5 axles, that's a tandem axle tractor and trailer, is permitted in most states to haul a maximum of 80,000 pounds gross weight. If the empty vehicle weighs 30,000 pounds, the maximum net payload is 50,000 pounds or 25 tons. In addition to the line haul and city tractors, Saia operates the following equipment. Dry vans. This is a standard trailer or straight truck with all sides enclosed. Flatbeds. A trailer that has no top or sides. It's used extensively to haul steel. Refrigerated vehicles. Cargo unit that has controlled temperature. High cube. Cargo unit that is higher than normal in order to increase cubic capacity. The federal government has established many rules and regulations governing the safety specifications of trucks. Saia has always adhered to these rules enthusiastically and encouraged all truckers to do likewise. The overall length and height of the vehicle are prescribed by the various states. Some motor carrier operations, namely TL or truckload operations, do not require terminals. The carrier uses the shipper's plant for loading and the consignee's plant for unloading. However, the LTL freight, or less than truckload, freight operations do require terminals. At Saia, freight is collected from shippers and brought to the terminal, where it is consolidated with other loads going in the same direction or to the same destination. The consolidated shipments are loaded onto a line haul vehicle for movement to destination. Upon arrival at destination, the terminal facilitates the delivery of the shipment. The line haul vehicle is emptied and the combined shipments are separated and reloaded into city trucks for delivery. At the pickup and delivery terminal, other carrier functions are performed. The sales effort, billing, and claim handling for the shippers are at the terminal's locations. Lastly, Saia utilizes the pickup and delivery terminal to facilitate the interline of freight from one carrier to another. A carrier may not have operating authority to transport the shipment to destination, but will cooperate with one or more carriers to complete the movement. When the shipment reaches the end of one carrier's line, it is transferred via the terminal to another carrier. Saia's most noteworthy attributes are the Saia people, our company's #1 asset. Outstanding service. Next day to the majority of points in our area. Stability. We purchase new equipment every year. Longevity. established 1924. Great communication. We have an open door policy. You have joined a great family. Thanks for your attention. Good luck in your endeavors, and welcome to Saia.